Okay, so now I've clicked on the start recording button. For those of you that are struggling to see the screen, there is an option within GoToWebinar to expand screen size to full width. But let's begin. So we're going to be going into, this is the agenda. So we're going to be going into a quick introduction. We're going to be talking about Smart Manager, then some of the challenges that small to mid-sized manufacturers face, and how our suite of solutions help them meet those challenges. We're going to talk about what you get with Smart Manager. I'm going to provide you with a live demonstration of the Smart Manager modules. There's going to be a quick summary and a Q&A towards the end, and we'll close the session. So let's begin. Just as an introduction, my name is John Grima. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing here at LYNQ. I've worked with LYNQ now for over 10 years, and I work primarily with the business partners, the Macola business partners and Macola, and help them in terms of presenting these solutions, working with them in the sales cycle, and providing them with information related to these products. LYNQ have been a long-standing Exact Macola business partner for many years now, over 20 years, but we're also developers of software applications specifically for the manufacturing sector. We understand the gaps in Macola, and we've obviously developed solutions that fill those gaps, that extend Macola to provide value for our Macola customer base and the customers out there that are using our solutions. We are headquartered in the UK, but we do have US resources, so we are an international organisation. We are or have been an OEM solution partner for Macola since 2012. We're also a reseller of Macola since 1995. So looking at the history really of our solutions, we developed the Visual Planner production scheduling software back in 2008. Prior to that, our existing Macola customer base wanted a simple and easy way to plan and schedule production. Other solutions out there were not really tightly integrated with Macola and provided too much complexity for day-to-day use. So we developed our own solution called Visual Planner, which was then adopted by Macola back in 2012 as their key advanced planning and scheduling solution. We started off initially with a production order processing version, then in 2010 a version for shop floor control. And then we began to develop our shop floor data collection application, which was called Shop Tracker by Macola. And in 2012, we have this OEM agreement with Macola, selling both of those solutions in the market. And in 2016, we had a new release called Smart Manager, which is really the platform that our planning and scheduling, shop floor data collection, and factory management software resides on. But if you hear me referring to Smart Manager, it's the platform and all the modules. So Smart Manager 2016 for Macola really provides you with advanced planning and scheduling. So with Planning Manager you get materials planning, finite capacity scheduling, and cloud-based publishing. With Workforce Manager, you get shop floor data collection, life status tracking, employee performance analysis. in April, May of next year, you will also have an interface in Workforce Manager that allows you to connect to machines and devices on the shop floor to feed machine data in and have analysis around machine performance there. A Factory Manager is a new module that we will be promoting in the new year, but out of the box right now it includes paperless shop floor functionality, issue tracking and workflow, and factory performance analysis. So all of the analysis that we gather around loading, availability, performance, quality, both on a production planning standpoint, but also on workforce, your employees out on the shop floor and their performance, soon the performance of your machines. It is collected and the analysis can be found in the new Factory Manager module. And you'll see this as I demonstrate the software in a minute. Because if we integrate with Macola, we integrate with all versions of Macola, so progression, ES and EM10, and also production order processing, POP, and shop floor control environments. So we work with customers from many different manufacturing sectors. They're typically small to mid-size manufacturers that operate job shop processes, batch processes, production line processes. They can be in the automotive sector, food and beverage sector, electronic sector. In fact, many sectors. We have a very diverse customer base that need to better plan and schedule production, to collect data on the shop floor and have analysis on how their factory is performing. They typically face these challenges, and I've listed 10 challenges here. Delivering to their customers faster. Okay, so that's key nowadays. Everyone wants everything yesterday, and being able to give your customers reliable delivery dates is critical. The customer goes elsewhere if they're not happy with the service they're provided, if the supplier lets them down. So with our planning and scheduling solution, Planning Manager, you're able to provide your customers with reliable delivery dates. Managing changes in customer demand. So there's constant change. The customer wants something yesterday, then they want it the week after. They want to move dates, they want to change things, they want the flexibility there from a supplier. So having the ability to manage changes in customer demand is critical. So again, we provide you with the tools to manage those changes in our advanced planning and scheduling solution, as well as managing the downstream changes in demand, based on the shop floor, where you're trying to execute that demand and ultimately deliver good quality products on time within the customer's expected delivery dates. So we certainly help in that area there. Controlling labour costs. Every time your production changes, your plans change, there's an impact downstream. Lack of visibility of the manufacturing process can often mean that your costs increase, and labour costs are typically one of your highest costs one of the highest costs in manufacturing. So getting control of your labour costs, having visibility of who's doing what, where and when, and any issues that are affecting your labour's performance, things like downtime, machine goes down, or an employee falls sick, that's going to affect your productivity, it's going to affect your performance. It could potentially increase your costs. So having a good control of those labour costs it is critical. Again, reducing shop floor issues. If you're able to see your shop floor and able to react to changes effectively, you're going to hopefully reduce those shop floor issues that ultimately end up costing you and hitting your bottom line. So reducing bottlenecks and downtime is key, and we really help you do that in our planning and scheduling solution planning manager. Eliminating paper from the shop floor. It's a common challenge for manufacturers, and we help you eliminate paper from the shop floor and through our factory manager module, where you can associate documents with orders, parts and so on, and I'll show you that a little bit later on. Measure and improve product quality. So capturing quality information is key. So if you want to know, how you are performing, in terms of quality, giving you that visibility is critical, and we can do that within our applications. Increasing productivity and output, making sure that all your resources are fully utilized, you're performing 100% of the time, you're reducing your issues on the shop floor, your downtime, keeping your uptime as high as possible. We can help you increase productivity and output with our solutions. And ultimately, we're going to help you reduce your costs to compete in a very competitive market out there. We want to help you improve your margins and stay ahead of the competition. We have 5 KPIs in our products that, if you measure them, they're going to help you provide answers to the challenges presented here. So, we're going to give you that visibility in our software. So, just go through this. Okay, so our solutions integrate with Exact Macola. So we have our own smart LYNQ integration where we're able to pull data from Macola in real time, such as your routings, your bills and materials, your work centers, departments. We can pull data directly from Macola. We're extremely tightly integrated with Macola. We can also write data back to Macola. Labor hours are written back automatically within the Workforce Manager product. So when an employee clocks into a job, we know how much direct and indirect time has been associated to that order, that operation, and we can pass that data automatically back to Exact Macola. So, we avoid manual tracing of production, manual collecting of data and keying data in, so we can make it really automated and really smooth process of the planning and scheduling, creating reliable production plans, but then also going on to execute production plans, capturing quantities, hours, utilizing your resources, your capacity, your materials, all of that in giving you the visibility in real time, and also passing data back to Exact Macola so that you have a good handle on your costs. You can see quite clearly where you are with an order, whether you're running ahead or you're late, who's working on what, and so on. Now we can also capture things like loading, so that's your planned time versus your scheduled time. So you might have a shop that runs 24/7, so you have so many hours that you can be available for, really, but you can only schedule so many hours. So your calendar hours versus your schedule hours really gives you things like your loading, and we can measure that. We can give you that information. That's one of the KPIs that we look at. Your availability, really your uptime. So we can measure how many what your uptime's like. How many hours were lost due to downtime, things like machine maintenance or any other 6 big losses that we look at. We can give you that kind of uptime or your availability analysis there. Your performance, how many good parts you completed per cycle and things like that. We can give you that kind of visibility. And again, quality, another KPI, how many pieces were not good, how many pieces that you produced that didn't meet your quality standards, and we can measure that kind of information. We can collect and track that kind of information. So when we start to look at the results of your manufacturing, we are considering your loading, availability, performance and quality, and that analysis, if you like, is made available in Factory Manager for management to review, management to then go on and make improvements in processes to ensure that your manufacturing is improving every time. And we give you things like overall equipment effectiveness and total effective equipment performance analysis. So again, pulling data or having data fed from machines and devices on the shop floor. So there's a machine element there also, as well as a labour element, a human element, where we're picking up your employees' overall labour effectiveness and giving you measurements on that information as well. All of this analysis helps you drive towards those Lean Six Sigma initiatives and improve your manufacturing. Okay, our products are any device, anywhere. So with the production planner, they're typically using something like a 27-inch or 32-inch monitor or dual monitors in their office where they're planning and scheduling production. So out on the shop floor, you'll have workers that are interacting with Workforce Manager, the workbenches that you'll see in a minute, collecting data, reporting production. Labour is collected automatically, viewing documents on the shop floor online. So out on the shop floor, perhaps you're running putting a big 50-inch screen up on the wall displaying the production schedule. That's something that a lot of our customers do. So all of this is really any device, anywhere. It's all web-based. Production Planning Manager has a desktop element, but I'll show you that in a minute. But it's predominantly web-based, very quick to deploy. As I mentioned, it's highly integrated with Exact Macola, so we get up and running in terms of the implementation very quickly. We utilize your Exact Macola data, we pull your data in, we write data back to Macola, directly to Macola, so you're always looking at up-to-date information, real-time data. So again, Planning Manager. Planning Manager provides materials planning, finite capacity scheduling, cloud-based publishing. With Planning Manager, you get it's flexible and simple to use, so you can easily update and share production schedules. You can provide accurate customer promise dates, so you can quickly simulate scenarios based on real capacity. You can shorten those delivery lead times through smarter use of materials and resources. It's quick start. It integrates out of the box with Macola, so it takes very few hours to get installed, a couple of hours to get installed, and then the rest of it is really piloting and training. So it's very quick out of the box software. Workforce Manager. Workforce Manager provides you with shop floor data collection, so live status tracking and employee performance. And with Workforce Manager, you get a simple and accurate data collection, easily capture hours, quantities, and more. Real-time tracking. You can measure progress and receive alerts. So if a machine goes down, send an alert to the supervisor. Powerful employee analysis, so drive productivity and performance. You're going to see lots of KPIs. Employees can see how they're performing. Supervisors, managers can see how their employees are performing. You can empower those employees by giving them that visibility. It's quick start. Integrates out of the box with Macola. Again, web-based, highly deployable. Whether you install these solutions on tablets or PCs, up to you, but any web-enabled device, very, very deployable. Factory Manager provides paperless shop floor, issue tracking and workflow, so you can look at things like breakdowns, set up as adjustments, minor stops, reduce speeds, all of these issues that affect your performance. We track and provide issue tracking and workflow. Paperless shop. You have the ability to attach documents, attach instructional videos, online forms like quality control forms, where on the shop floor in Workforce Manager, as you'll see in my demo, you can record the results. You can sign off, you can archive and documents. The analysis, factory and performance analysis, as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at things like six big losses, loading, availability, performance, quality, overall equipment effectiveness, OEE, and total effective equipment performance, TEEP. Now these are terms that are widely used in the area of Six Sigma. So some of you will be familiar with these terms, and we will be pulling in data from the shop floor, human data, machine data, to provide you with this analysis. So this is coming, Factory Manager, and this performance analysis is coming in the next release, R2 release, April, May of next year. So what you get with Factory Manager, you can eliminate paper from the shop floor. So you can simply attach documents and complete forms online. For those of you that are using Synergy, you can even hyperlink from Synergy and show a final revision of a drawing out on the shop floor. So when you look at a job on the workbench and you see it's got a paperclip symbol on it, and you can click on it and that will open up a URL to the document, which is stored in Synergy. For instance, so for those of you that are moving to EM10 or already on EM10, you get Synergy as part of that. Measure and minimize downtime, so record and resolve issues resulting in downtime. So again, in Workforce Manager, an employee can record the fact that the machine's down, or the tool that they're using is broken, whatever the issue is that is going to be creating that downtime. In Factory Manager, you can measure and minimize downtime. You can record and resolve issues resulting in downtime. You can see how many hours were lost due to machines being down this month versus last month, and so on. And you can also have a workflow where you can assign an issue to be resolved. You'll see that in the demo. You can increase factory output, improve your overall equipment effectiveness. So if you can improve your availability, your loading, your quality, your performance, you're going to improve your overall equipment effectiveness. So you can ultimately outperform your competitors. So if you're looking at Industry 4, which is, with us today. Early days for Industry 4, that's the cyber-physical interfaces that we talk about, where you're getting closer to your customers. Customers have a direct impact on the products that you manufacture. The Industry 4 is certainly something here in Europe that is gathering steam, and I'm sure it will be, if it's not already, in the US. You're going to be able, our solutions are geared around Industry 4 and will be moving more and more in that direction in the coming years. So this is going to help you get into Industry 4 quicker. It's going to help you drive Lean Six Sigma initiatives towards the Industry 4. So I'm going to go into a demonstration of the software, and I'm going to switch screens momentarily here, and we're going to go into give me a second. Let's go into Smart Manager, and this is the Smart Manager platform. You can see it's web-based. It's like running a Google. You see a web-based product, and on the Smart Manager platform you can see 3 modules. Everything's color-coded here. Planning Manager is blue, Workforce green, Factory is purple. Right, so anywhere in the software it's easy to know what module you're in. You should be aware that these modules can be purchased separately, or you can buy them as a bundle. The Smart Manager platform, so the first module that you purchase comes with the Smart Manager platform, 1 company database connection and 20 seats. So that's how it's licensed. It's licensed by named user. Named users are assigned to seats, and the customer determines what access rights those named users have. Okay, so that's how it's licensed. So we're going to start off with Planning Manager, and again, Planning Manager is our advanced planning and scheduling solution. It is both web-based and as a client install, and we're going to go into the client install to begin with. So I'm in the client here. Hopefully you can see my screen, and this is the standard layout, but some of our production schedulers out there will use dual screens, so they will see this area with all the demand that you need to schedule on one screen, and this very colourful graphical planning board on another screen. But most use something like a 27-inch, 32-inch monitor and see exactly what you're seeing on the screen now. So this takes about an hour to install, and as soon as it's installed, it's going to be pulling in your POP orders or your shop floor orders, depending on what you're using. It will pull those orders in automatically as soon as you create that demand, those orders within Macola. It's going to pull those orders into this task panel view. Okay, so there's an automatic syncing mechanism that is looking at pulling in any new orders that you've created. Now, Macola, like any other ERP package out there, works on an infinite capacity basis, your estimated lead time. So those dates that Macola provides you with are really on an infinite capacity basis. So, for instance, this order that I'm pointing to now, 289, has a scheduled start date and a scheduled due date. That's what Macola recommends. Okay, but in the real world, that's all very well and good, but actually, there's no way that you're going to be able to produce that product and get it out to the customer by that date. So, in the real world, you're planning and scheduling in a finite capacity way. So that's taking into consideration your constraints, and your constraints could be capacity, they could be materials, could be resources, and resources could be machines, employees, tools, or combinations of those constraints. Now, Planning Manager is a multi-constraint, finite capacity planning and scheduling solution. So we consider those constraints that then allow you to plan and schedule production, having all the knowledge in front of you, having all the information in front of you. So you're not guessing or using subjective knowledge to create a production schedule. A lot of the customers that move onto this platform have come from where they're using Excel spreadsheets, access databases, whiteboards, to something like this. So there is a change, but that change is highly beneficial in that it gives them a tool that allows them to plan and schedule production, see their available resources, see their available capacity, create a reliable production schedule that makes sense, that they can publish to the rest of the business. And they can change a flexible plan. So, if something changes, a customer wants their product delivered, a week later or a month later, you have the flexibility then to go on and change that production schedule efficiently, so it's not going to take you hours and hours to decide where to reschedule that order. It's going to take you minutes. So really flexible, easy to use production planning and scheduling solutions. Been out in the Macola market for many years now, so it's highly tuned towards Macola, and it's going to give you that kind of advanced planning and scheduling capability. So just very quickly around the screen, so we're looking at a planning interval mindset from today out to the 27th of February. That's my planning interval, but you might decide to have a week-long planning interval or an entire year out if you want to do long-term capacity planning. That's really what you're going to be scheduling your demand into. The next area is the menu, so you can get to it anywhere in the software from here, as you would expect. It's highly intuitive, it's logical, set out in a way that it's going to take you a very few hours to get up and running in this. It's linked to a database. So again, as I pointed out earlier, Smart Manager platform comes with a single company database connection and 20 seats. So this is the database that I'm connected to, and it's my demo ES company here. And the task panel, this is this area here, is displaying my orders from Macola. So as soon as it's installed, this product's going to be pulling in your routings. If you're using shop floor control, it's going to be pulling in your work centers, your departments, your bills and materials. It's going to be pulling in your pop orders, your shop orders, and so on. Pulls all that data in for you. So there's very little configuration that you need to do to get up and running. So this task panel, as you can see, I've got 39 orders, production orders. This data is filtered, so you are able to filter your data. You're able to group your data and schedule the data that you want to schedule. So if, for instance, if I wanted to see orders by material availability, I could just drag the column header up like this and see that I've got 22 orders where I have enough materials, and I have 17 orders where I have partially enough materials, and I believe somewhere up here, or maybe not, I thought I had some orders out there that don't have any materials on there. So you could see how easy it is to sort, group, filter. So now I'm looking at materials by product, and you can do by dragging and dropping column headers here. You can group your data and also schedule the group data onto the graphical planning board. Okay, so if you don't want the group data, you just drag the column header back down. So you can apply filters to your data as well. So I'm looking at only released orders. Okay, but I could look at, if I click on the column header, I could look at unreleased or any other orders I wish to look at. Okay, so you can do things like that. Now you see I have a mixture. I have 112 orders there. So if I just change that again, I just want to look at released orders. Apply. Really easy to get to the data that you need. What we will be doing is scheduling these orders onto the graphical planning board. You'll end up with new start dates and new due dates on these orders that we will ultimately publish back to Macola, back to the order in Macola. So you'll see that happening as I start to plan and schedule. Before I do, I just want to point out that we have what we call the Factory Explorer on the left-hand side, and that displays all of your departments and work centres in Macola. Any department work centre that is ticked will appear on the graphical planning board. So let me minimize that. Down the left-hand side, now we're focusing on the graphical planning board. Down on the left-hand side, you are seeing labels that display the department and work centre name. Okay, and you can see that we are looking currently at Department A, Work Centre 1, and horizontally across the screen you are looking at a timeline. Okay, so now we're looking at our planning board then for Department A, Work Centre 1 in 1 hour increments, so 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. Now I could zoom down to a 15, so I'm moving out the other way, so I can go all the way down to a 1 minute increment. So here we're zooming out, 1 minute, 30 minutes, see the scale change. There's 15, I'm not going to go all the way down, but let's zoom back out. So that's 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and you see the scale changing there. So this zooming in and zooming out allows me as the production planner to see how my work centres are loaded and see where those bottlenecks are and see where that free capacity is. Okay, I've not scheduled anything at the moment, and you can see again by the label that we have 100% availability in Department A, WC1 during our planning interval. We've not scheduled anything yet, and you'd expect it to be 100% available. So let me just zoom in a bit more. And the colours that you're seeing on the planning board are either working or non-working activities. So this dark grey colour is non-working time, so overnight from 12 AM until 7 AM we're not working. And then this blue colour from 7 o'clock until midday is working time. Yellow is lunch, non-working, and then we're working again until 7 PM. So that is a shift or a calendar that we've applied to our work centre. We, in the Visual APS Planning Manager, we've decided that this is the best place to maintain your shifts. It gives you more flexibility than the calendars that exist in Macola. So one of the steps within the implementation is to create shifts and apply those shifts to your department work centres. Okay, so that's something that you would do. Now it's easy to extend your shifts or create multiple shifts and apply multiple shifts to those work centres. This is my default shift, 7 o'clock in the morning until 7, and I was messing around earlier, but it's easy to drag your working time like this. So let's drag it back down to 7 on Sunday. Maybe we want to put in some maintenance or approved overtime. You can do that, and that extends the working hours that you have available. So that's how you would create your shift. Close that, cancel that. and you can also do that on the fly. So if you wanted to extend your working day out, you can do that. So that gives us more capacity, and you might wish to put in some approved overtime, and you might want to add additional resources. My work centre here is employee constrained. I need a certain number of employees in this case to be available. I have one in the first part of the day and one in the second part of the day, but it could be machines, it could be tools, I could be scheduling to combinations of those resources. So now I've extended my working time, I've added that's overtime there, approved overtime, and I have 2 resources during that approved overtime period. So that's how I would extend my capacity on the fly. It could be downtime, and I can apply downtime. If I had orders scheduled out there, they would be vibrating on the screen, and I would need to reschedule them because the machine's down or work centre's not open. Now, scheduling is really simple, so you can drag and drop or auto scheduling. I'm going to show you how you drag and drop. Let's start with this order 289, and I'm going to open up the order to its operational level. Right, this is a routing, and for those of you that are using production order processing, in production order processing you don't have routings, but we give you the ability to just have one operational step. So you'll see your pop order number and an operation. But if you're using shop floor, we put in your standard routing, and you would see information like this: setup hours, run hours, processing time, move time, or department work center. This is critical information. You'd also see a scheduled due and start date that Macola recommends. Okay, but now I'm going to drag operation down to the planning board, and you can see it grays out any work center that it can't be produced in, and I'm holding down on my mouse key currently, and you can see a box appear, and it's showing me order 289, operation 10. It's going to start at let's say 7 o'clock and finish at 5 p.m. So it's calculating the length of time this operation will take to complete. If I let go of my mouse key, you will see an orange tile, and that shows you that it's scheduled on the planning board. If we go back up to the task panel, you can see it's actually automatically scheduled all the other operations out in sequence. If I zoom back a little bit, you can probably see each operation scheduled. Yellow thumbs up, which means it's scheduled on the planning board, but we've not saved the new start date and due date back to Macola. Okay, so while it's in this orange color, I can move it around, take it off, and if I push it out, it reschedules all the other operations in sequence. One other thing here is that it's showing you this red bar that's stretching across the top, that actually this particular operation, it was a released operation already, a released order, has already been executed, but it's running late. So because we are able to collect the execution side of this, we can tell whether an order is running late or not, and we can also show you the quantity reported on each operation if you want to see that kind of information as well. So you can see, the percentage quantity complete on an order, and have that kind of visibility as well. So that was drag and drop scheduling. So while it's in this orange color, I can move it out, take it off, reschedule to my heart's content. Okay, so now I'm going to unschedule this entire order and all the operations, and now I'm going to auto schedule. So auto scheduling, you're able to auto schedule multiple orders. So let's just take a group of orders here, go click on auto schedule. This is where the Visual APS Planning Manager determines the best place to schedule these orders, to minimize setup time, processing time, all those things that you would expect. Now we have two main settings here: forward scheduling from today out, or backward scheduling from the original due date. So from here I can sort, group, filter on any criteria I like. I can also say I want to schedule this job first, this job second, and this job third. Now if you had you're in a food processing, maybe you want to industry, you maybe want to schedule by allergens. You're able to bring that information in and say, okay, I want to schedule this product first, then this product second, this product third, and so on. So you can schedule in that way as well. I can also go into columns, any column header here, go to column settings and pull in additional data from Macola and be scheduling from it. So there was something in the item master that I wanted to schedule from, and color, is an example. Maybe there's a red product first, blue product second, and so on. I could bring that in. I can bring in user-defined fields, all sorts of information here I can bring in and schedule from that data. But I'm going to click on schedule, and I'm forward scheduling, and it takes a split second or so to schedule all of these orders and their operations out onto the planning board. And now you see the work center drop down to 72% availability, and I can zoom in very easily, and you can see, okay, this work center WC1 is getting fairly loaded, and if I zoom in, you can see really it's pretty loaded right up until week 52, Thursday, the 29th of December. So very easy, very graphical. If I click on this schedule there, I would just be displaying this schedule. Let's try that. So if I do that here, you would see just the graphical planning board like this. Again, I could maximize this to full size. So again, this is quite dynamic as you're reporting production, as you're completing orders. They're dropping off the planning board, freeing up capacity. So it's very dynamic there. So let me double click on that again. It goes back to where it was previously. And you could do the same thing with these the task panel. So if you just wanted to display only the list of your live orders, you can do that as well. And again, you could use this on your screens. So once you're happy with your production plan schedule, you click on publish. But before I do that, just going to talk about what if orders. And I use this as an example where maybe a customer calls in and they want to know whether you can produce X, Y, Z by a certain date and get it out to them. You want to give that customer reliable delivery expectations. We go into add what if order, create this virtual order, this demand. So let's look at what we can do here. I'm going to look at all my products. Customers interested in bike AS, and they want they want a certain quantity, let's say 20 of them, and they want them by a certain date, and they want this is customer 2. I create that virtual demand. Immediately I know I only have some of the materials, and I'll talk about that in a second. And I'm going to auto schedule this what if order onto the planning board. So very quickly like this. And you can see I've got a virtual due date of the 21st of February. I can go back to the customer and confidently say, we're going to have this available for you by such and such date, because you've checked your available capacity. Here it is, the what if order in this blue color, scheduled out there on the planning board. And now what I'm going to do is pin it on the planning board. Okay, so it's holding that capacity until the customer comes back and firms up on their order. Then you would need to go into Macola, create that order. You'll see it in the production orders tab. You'll unschedule this what if order, unpin it, unschedule it, and drop the new production order in the place that this what if order has vacated. Okay, so that's what if order planning and scheduling. So in terms of materials now, Planning Manager is making stock calculations for you in a time-phased manner. Okay, so looking at all your allocations, it's looking at all your purchase orders out there for materials, and it's telling you, okay, if you're going to schedule this on that date, you're going to be short of the material, some materials. So it's looking at the capture bill of materials for this order 279, and it's showing you that you have some partial shortages, and if I just click on it here, it will tell me that I'm short of these clamps. Okay, so I can drill, you see the quantity, the date, the availability, and I can drill in to that onto that part, and I can see the opening, planned in, planned out, closing balance of that material. Okay, again, there's an order there at 25. So this is dynamic, it's changing, you know, as your materials come into stock or as they're allocated, consumed, the position changes, and Planning Manager will tell you that that has changed, something's changed. Okay, so it will show you that the materials are short if they become short. And you can do some other clever things around the materials. Probably requires a complete demo on that to go through that with you. I can look at an overview of materials. So if I click on apply, I can look at all of my materials on a day-to-day basis and see where I'm going short by location, by item category, and so on. And again, I can drill into those shortages and see why I'm short. So here you can see exactly the detail there and why I am short on this particular, not a great example, but you can see it highlights those shortages. And again, it's really to help the production planner and the materials planner be on to the same page. Right, okay, so that's the planning and scheduling. So what I'm going to do now is publish this production plan. So save and publish, and that will write those new start dates and due dates back to Macola. Then we can go into our reports, we can look at capacity charts, we can look at the production schedule online, we can look at job status view, and so on. So it's very easy for me to go online like this and look at something like a job status view, like this. Give it a second. Okay, so I can see, okay, was it scheduled on time? Is the delivery date safe? Here are the materials. There's the quantity, and you can see the live issuing of materials here. And when it's being executed, you can see the percentage quantity complete, scrap materials, labour, you know, the ordered quantity, quantity completed, planned hours, actual hours, and all sorts of other information here directly from Planning Manager. And you can look at the work centre loading like this, so you can see all of your work centres. You see a picture of your work centres, and you can see Department A, WC1. We've scheduled 5 pieces to that work centre today. You can see the employees clocked in to that work centre today, what they're working on, the progress on each of the jobs, current activity today. You can see who's doing what and how long they've been in, clocked into those jobs. If they're reporting production, you'll obviously see these KPIs change. So that gives you, I mean, there's a lot more I can show you here. There's an online schedule, but that gives you an overview, if you like, of the Planning Manager product. Here's the online schedule that anyone can view. You can drill into any order from here. You can do a shop order by shop order and review your shop orders. And these are your production orders as well, so there can be POP or shop floor orders, and you can drill into them and see the status of those orders like this. Again, live execution. We're running out of time here, so I'm going to move quickly into Workforce Manager. I'll continue to record this and as we go through this and share it with you, even if you can't stay on the call. So it will give you that kind of information. Any attached documents, any alerts, what the materials, what we've issued to the materials, job receipts, all that kind of information. Now let's go into Workforce Manager. Workforce Manager is all about shop floor data collection. So a lot of customers have a terminal at the entrance of the building so they know when an employee arrives, when they leave, all the productive and non-productive time in between. We also collect labour time and past labour data to payroll systems like ADP, Paychecks and so on. But essentially Workforce Manager really provides terminals like this on the shop floor. They're typically on tablets, 8 to 10 inch screen tablets or PCs with barcode scanners on if you like, and really what you'd see is something like this where an employee would clock in at the terminal by the work centre, and they would see essentially something like this. This is Mary clocked in, her duration 1 hour and 39 minutes, and you can see all the scheduled jobs from Planning Manager here, and Mary can clock into multiple jobs at the same time. We can do crew reporting as well, and labour times are collected automatically, and Mary can report production, so it's really easy to report quantities, to report scrap and so on, change the status of a job. All these buttons here to collect productive and non-productive time, you can add, remove them, make this screen as simple as you like. For the shop floor, you can use barcode scanning as devices as well. As I mentioned earlier, you can open up attached documents. So here you can see I have a CAD drawing, and I'm going to open that up. It could be a work instruction, could be a form, quality control form that you want your employee to populate. It could be a hyperlink showing the document from Synergy, all sorts of things there. It's really helping you run a paperless shop. So you can clock out for lunch, meetings, breaks, and collect non-productive time. You can do kit issuing of materials. So if I click on kit issue, I can issue all or some of the materials here. So if I wanted some like that or all, that passes a material issue transaction back to Macola. You need some business objects there to allow that to happen, but you are able to do that. You're able to log production issues, so if there was an issue, a breakdown, you could log that on the floor, and that will post an alert to the supervisor, and you can then track those issues and assign those issues to be resolved in Factory Manager. You can also send instant messaging directly from a terminal like this. Okay, so within Workforce Manager you can look at employee status, who's doing what, where and when. So I can see exactly what my employees are doing. These are my manufacturing employees that I pull in from Macola, and if I click on there you can see detailed information on Mary's overall labour effectiveness, which is a multiplication of all three of these. I can see any alerts, any issues that were raised here as well as a supervisor. And there's that issue, equipment failure, linked on their way, and that will be posted back to Mary on the terminal. She'll know that something's being done about that. You can see when she's clocked in, a duration, what crew she's working with, who are managers, and so on. Again, in Workforce Manager, you can look at employee performance or team performance. So let's look at Mary's performance in Q2, because we have some data there. And you can see a breakdown, averaged hours breakdown. So she spent 88% of her time in direct labour. The rest was indirect, so training, no tasks, meetings, breaks, lunch. Again, you have a summary view and you have some detailed analysis of performance, overall performance of the employee. Let's look at Q2 again. By the employee or by the product. We're nearly coming towards the end of this. So you can see average throughput there, the hours by product, by order, by work center, and you have a pivot area where you can create your own reports and give them a name, save them, and you could be using them time and time again with the data behind the scenes. There's something like 16 SQL tables, LYNQ SQL tables that reside alongside your Macola SQL tables. Again, lots of data to access there and lots of ways that you can create some really sort of meaningful reports there very easily. And you can also look at transactions. If you're a supervisor, you can look at all the transactions by exception. If you feel that someone shouldn't have reported that quantity, you can edit a transaction and reverse out the original transaction in Macola. So you can do things like that. You can create transactions as well from Workforce Manager here. So you can create new transactions, labour, quantity, scrap, all these things from here, Workforce Manager. So that's Workforce Manager, all about shop floor data collection, live status tracking, and recording, and we do pass data to payroll systems. Factory Manager is a new module, will be pushed and launched really in the Macola market come April, May, but out of the box already. So if you're using Workforce Manager, a lot of our customers have this functionality already, where they can attach documents to orders, items, bills of material, work centers. You can see it's really easy to use. So you can add it to a shop order or customer item, add forms, so create your own forms, quality control forms, have them visible on the shop floor to be populated. Data saves in the database. You can add links, and a link could be from Synergy anywhere else there. And you can see in Factory Manager we look at all the issues that were raised on the shop floor. So if you're a supervisor, you want to see, okay, how many hours did we lose due to issues in Q2? You can have some analysis on that, but you can also assign those issues. Not a good example. Let's have a look at Q3. You can look at all those issues. So there you go. So I can just drag. Not a great deal of data there, but you can see that we lost 2 hours in Q3 due to machine breakdowns. And again, I can drill into the data. I can assign those issues to be resolved. And now they're assigned and so on. So you have a workflow of the for issue tracking and reporting. And in the new year, as I said, you're going to be able to look at some of this analysis. So dashboards, drillable dashboards will provide you with things like overall equipment effectiveness, loading performance, availability, performance, quality, 6 big loss performance, where you're really tracking your losses, all drillable. Again, in the new year, come April, May, again, we're going to be, we've got that interface in Workforce Manager where we can potentially connect to machines and devices and pull machine data in to feed these kinds of reports. So that was a very quick demonstration of what LYNQ provides. A lot of software. I'm sure you will be interested in learning more. And if you do, please reach out to Rachel and the folks at the Attivo Group. We're happy to sort of do a deeper dive for you. Happy to answer any questions that you have. If you just send them to Rachel, I'll get answers out to you very quickly. So again, Grateful for your time. Sorry I've overrun a little bit there, but appreciate there's a lot to show you, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you again for your time.